Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? Sorry, I'm getting my sugar rush going. Okay, awesome. So I assume you guys are the birth charts fanatics and the people really in tune with the stars and the woo-woo stuff because you're already early on the call. Who's excited? Nice. Hmm. Tonight is the first night I went out for my usual walk, and guys, it's 26 degrees. Past sunset. Summer is here. I'm so happy. I was like, I had like a big jumper and I was like, I think I'm sweating. And I was like, is it because I just had a coffee? I'm trying to cut back on coffee in the evenings, but I had a half strength one and I was like, it never really gives me this effect, but I blamed it for the coffee. And then I finished the walk and I jumped back in the car and the car was saying 26 degrees. And I'm like, it wasn't a coffee. It's actually summer. Well, I don't know. It's autumn. It's kicking in since a week. Yeah, you guys are gonna have the opposite. Well, here, to be fair, winter is usually only 3 months in Queensland. So it's just been, I feel like I've been stuck in a permanent winter because I went to America for winter. So I've been in winter since fucking February and I'm over it. Still raining on and off in Melbourne. Yeah, but it always rains in Melbourne. Like it doesn't apply to you guys. What are you talking about? Mm. I I had a meeting today with like my clients in Talbingo again for the man shed, that horror mural, that saga that I'm still going through. So that's my little update. And they were saying how they've been having a pretty bad winter, but summer should be perfect. And I'm like, when you know that the client is jinxing it by saying that, and in my head, I'm like, no, 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 no. Just don't say anything about the weather. Just let's not talk weather ever. That's a life hack now with clients. Hi, Glenn. All right, let's give it another 2 minutes. Does anyone have any updates, anything to celebrate? I know Rachel heard back from her first school proposal. I have a big clap over there. I also had a massive win from one of the graduates. She closed a $45,000 project that last year. This was a long time in the making. She approached a school in her area because she was obsessing about it. So I was like, just go introduce yourself and ask them if they need any murals. And they actually were interested, and they showed her 4 walls. They were all the same, but there were 4 of them. And she thought only 1 or 2 would go ahead. And then they jerked her around, guys, a year, probably literally a year. And now they are all 4 going ahead, $45,000. Like, it's ridiculous. So sometimes it's just a matter of patience. Um, and I love it because she was like, I don't think I was ready back then, but I'm ready now. And I love that attitude because, yes, she's gonna do them better now than she would last year. So I don't know. Sometimes things just work out. So I thought you might want to hear that. And the 2 minutes are up. So okay, let's dive right into it. So the reason I'm having this call and I wanted to talk about a little bit of woo-woo stuff is because I really believe in it. And I think in business and in life, everything is easier if you focus on you. We are brought up in a society, and especially people in our generation, we have very big generational trauma where parents were still the kind of parents that would say stuff like, like you were raised to try not to be selfish, especially women, right? And it's stupid because guess what? The reality that we are experiencing is constructed around us. You are the center of your reality. So if you don't focus on yourself, things happen at you and not for you because you're not actively taking reins on your life because you think you're not allowed to. But I think you are. And things, because it's your life and like literally nothing else exists except for what you're experiencing right here, right now. So it's good to, a life hack that I find out is the sooner you get to know yourself, the faster thing kind of fall in place for you because as soon as you realize what you like, what you don't like. The sooner that you make peace with parts of yourself that are not necessarily going to change, the better your life gets, because you stop giving fucks. This became true for me in a couple of different ways, specifically in the last year. For the longest amount of time, I blamed a lot of things on my poor upbringing, my cultural mix, only to find out that literally 80% of the shit, not only that I was blaming on these factors, past trauma and multicultural mess, I wasn't the only one blaming that, but even my relationship with my past husband was heavily putting those behaviors in those boxes, only to find out that it's actually from ADHD and autism. That was one of the big revelations in my life. So I was trying to change parts that can legit not change unless I take some chemicals in my brain. So that was validating. But then the thing that's done actually the biggest impact in my life is when I started doing some personality testing and actually understanding that there is a bigger coding that we are not fully aware of. And yes, I'm going to be talking about stars, because I wasn't ever believing into woo-woo stuff for the majority of my life, but my autistic brain now is understanding it in a different way. And I wanted to explain it in a way that recently got explained to me, which was quite brilliant, because we are experiencing AI. And so people are opening their brains a little bit further than before. So the way that I want you to think about constellations and what the planets do to us, and I want you to think about a coding. We code to create languages online. Artificial intelligence, it's a big coding system. But the original one was already existing, and it's kind of like in a constellation. I know it sounds really weird, but like what the planets were doing the moment you were born does have a big impact on who you are, how you do things, and where you're going in life. And it might be freaky and it might sound stupid, but when you look into it, things make sense. And that's all we're looking for validation. Because where your attention goes, then energy flows. And if you find validation in your strengths, guess what? They're going to get amplified. If you get more awareness around your personal traits that influence not only your everyday life, but your business, then you're going to be just more aware. And being an aware person in this world is really valuable. Who would agree here that there's a lot of people going around and they don't know what's happening inside of them, what's happening outside of them? Like, self-awareness is key, in my opinion, for any type of success. Because if you are not aware, like things are constantly happening at you and you're constantly reacting to them. Whereas these days, because I'm so aware, like it's like, I don't have time, this doesn't apply to me, or this is just what are you going to do? Like, I'm just so much more grounded because of this. So what I want to go through today is recommend a list of tests, and then I want to really tune down on one that I discovered recently through my friend Sarah, that many of you have met at the retreat. And there's just no way of explaining what this woman does other than meeting her, so I'm not really gonna try. However, what you need to know about her is she's a multi-generation witch, and that's the best way to describe her. However, she's also a certified psychologist and one of the most successful businesswomen I know, and the most intuitive person I know. And she makes these tests become mandatory for all her staff members and even her students. I'm not going to make you do anything mandatory. However, I'm going to disclose a list of all tests that I've done or I've come across through both business and the spiritual community. So you have them, you have a website, and you can, what I kind of recommend doing is setting aside a day or a weekend of self-discovery and do either the top recommended ones or even all of them if you want. If you've never done them, it might be very overwhelming. If you've done it in the past, take them again, because yes, you can change slightly in the results. But what I want you then to also do, who here uses ChatGPT? Yeah, who here has paid version of ChatGPT? No, really? It's actually really worth it. And it's not that expensive, but that's okay. I just think if you have the paid version, your ChatGPT knows you really well. So if you then upload the results of these tests and you ask ChatGPT questions like, can you tell me a list of things that would make me a better business owner now that I know these facts about myself, or 5 changes to my routine or how I run business, like it would really give you very specific tips. So I still recommend you to try that with your ChatGPT to make this like a 3-part business step. Like take the tests, absorb the results, like read them even multiple times, and then run them past ChatGPT and let ChatGPT give you some feedback. I can give you some prompts. I will attach them with the replay of this lecture time. But the first of the tests I think are really, really helpful to get to know not just yourself, but one another in any group environment at work, or if you ever have staff members, or if you ever want to even hire a virtual assistant, is the one that we already talked about in the program, which is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator test, the 16 personality test. Why is that good? Is because it will give you a lot of validation on like how you make decision, how you process information, and how you interact with other people. It also give you like a bit of your like leadership style. Like if it validated so much my decision to start mentoring, and I thought it validated for you knowing that was meant to be a mentor. I think that was like kind of very good to retake it. And it was good to retake it because the very first time I took this over 10 years ago when I was in corporate, I was actually in the same category but in a different personality. I think I became slightly more extroverted and something else, but this is the 16 personality test. I'm going to write them all in the chat. And if you Google it, literally the test is called like that too. So you can, it's the 16 personality test, right? I'm gonna drop that. Yeah, it's free. There is like, you can unlock more information if you pay, like everything in life, but I'm gonna drop the link here so you guys can save it. I'm gonna also share the screen. So yeah, this is the one with the logo. So if you haven't done it yet, do it. I am tempted to make you all guys put your personality test next to your name in the program, simply because what it does, like it makes you go kinder with one another when you interact, when you have to collaborate. And for me as a mentor, might really help to know how you like to be interacted with. But anyway, then the other one that is quite similar, reveals your core motivations and fears, helps you understand your triggers and how you show up under stress though. So this is more for my stress heads. It's called an test. This one here. So this is free. It's a 5-minute quiz. And if you are someone that stresses a lot, you should totally do this one. And I'm gonna put it here. Who said this? Love it to commit to intensive videos and it always said the same type for me. Oh, that's awesome to know. So how you cope with stress here. And then the next one is just a disc profile. So this is the first one that they make you do, kind of incorporate. Who here has worked in office jobs and they have made them do some personality tests? Anyone at all? No? Okay, interesting. I think it's a very modern, in the last like 10, 20 years, American trend that has come over to Australia. But when I was talking about it to my best friend in Italy, she said that they even done it at universities. So it's definitely becoming more appreciated, the fact that you can save time and save disappointment by getting to know people better, and just admitting that we are all wired differently. Like, we're just not the same. However, there are similar typologies, and that's why some people resemble each other in the way they do things. That's why some people get more along with each other at work. And obviously, work is a controlled environment where dynamics play up quite obviously. Another dynamic could be family, another one could be relationships. So there are different tests that's better for certain environments, but these are the ones that, as a business owner, in my opinion, are very good to take. This one will do all of them, but I would recommend so this one just shows you, like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but why this one matters. It's popular in business and leadership training, breaks down communication styles and work styles into 4 categories: dominance, influence, steadiness, and consensuousness. So this might give you really good insight into your strengths when it comes to negotiations. Because I know I help you a lot with how I negotiate, but you could have slightly different traits than I do. And so if the next time I help you negotiate and you're like, look, PJ, actually, I am more, of a dominant, like, I am definitely very dominant style. But you're like, no, I'm more of the steadiness, then we might need to, instead of like call and approach someone very directly, do it in a different way. It's just going to give you better awareness of where you're comfortable at, or maybe where you need to work up more towards this. So let me know if you struggle a lot of with confidence and negotiations. This might be like a top priority one for you. I don't know which one is good, but I'm just gonna drop one that says free, and so you guys have them all in the same place. Okay. Negotiations. I'm just gonna write a word that's gonna remind you kind of what I said, and then now the one that I want to focus on. Who here has ever done a natal, like, birth chart in astrology? Yeah, we have a few too. So that just means, like, a lot of people stop at the zodiac sign. Who here believes that the zodiac sign matches the personality? Yeah, okay. So, okay. So we have, so if yours is like a fuck yeah, you probably have some of the most dominant traits really matching that. I'm a Leo. Could you tell? It probably yes. However, when you do like a proper natal birth chart, which means uploading your date of birth, location, and if you can, the time. The time is actually quite important. I had to reach out to family, extended family, to find out my time. It's totally worth it. Even if you have to call the hospital, I'm not kidding. Like, it's something you should really know, because it's going to unlock the next 2 parts that have kind of changed my life to know these things about myself. So my natal birth chart really explained the other aspects that influence my personality. So for example, yes, I'm very Leo-like, but I have a rising moon in Capricorn, which is like the most logical, structured part of my personality, the part that birthed this program, really. Just as a Leo, I wouldn't be able, the Leo like leads this group, but that part of my astrology has built and structured this. So it's pretty interesting. But if you want to do your own any free astrology report, so you want to like look for a report, is going to ask you for the time and for the birthplace. So what's going to happen, I want to, since this is kind of the stuff I want to focus on, I want to show you an example with mine. Let's see how difficult this is going to be. I was born at 6:31, and then literally you write the whole place, and usually they make you speak. It's quiet. If the internet is working, I guess. Hey, it's not. I don't know if it's my internet. Okay, sorry. Just the city name. Okay, yeah, so that's the right one. Look at that. So I was born in Poland, close to the German border. It explains you what it is. And oh, that was super fast. Okay. And then some people really love nerding out on this. My IT people, my engineers, like they actually like looking at the numbers and things. I don't. So I just read it. Or better, I copy and paste everything because it's very long. So you're going to do a lot of self-discovery here. I have friends that read this. I don't know how to do that. But guess what? You can literally copy everything. I love that we have ChatGPT these days. You literally do bloop, copy, and then you go to Google Chat. My chat already kind of knows everything, but let's do it anyway. And be like, okay, according to my chat, can you please summarize the key traits of me? Like you can go really simple. I just want to prove you how precise this is. So you know me, guys, in one way or another. So I just want to like show your test. And then if anyone here knows date, time of birth, can you drop it in the chat and I'll do an example in front of the class with you as well. So it's gonna explain the woo-woo stuff that I kind of skip over. So Sun, Moon, Mercury in Leo. I have 3 Leo thing. Charismatic collaborator. You shine through partnership, community, and co-creation. You're a natural mediator. You love fairness, hate disharmony. Big-hearted storytelling energy and a talent for guiding rooms and building loyal audiences. Capricorn rising. Serious, credible first impression, unmistakable originality, intuition. You look greater, yet you're a visionary rule bender. People feel your magic and trust your competence. Blah, blah, blah. Would you agree that this is kind of like what I do? Mind and voice. Warm, confident communicator, persuasive on one-on-one calls, pitches, coaching. Obviously, my ChatGPT knows what I'm doing. I think it also says, so signature strengths, magnetic leadership, high creative output, deep transformative partnership, vision, discipline, watch out. So it also gonna tell you like your worst traits, right? So we're not looking just for the good is gonna be nice, it's gonna like feel validating, but then you're also gonna have like the bad stuff. So it's gonna be people pleasing, sometimes harmony over truth. Like I really have to set better boundaries and like remind people and myself of rules, like who has had an issue with me before, they can probably understand this. I do struggle that. I'm not hiding it. Neither is my natal chart. Overcommitting. How many times I said I'm going to start a gazillion things and then I only pick the top ones because it is an issue for me. Perfection pressure. I up at night because my presentations need to be reviewed 220 times when really nobody fucking cares what colors is the background of my presentation. And jealousy, intensity, and love. I go full in. That is also very true. Not that anyone here needs to know my romantic problems. But it also like tells you, like you can really keep asking your ChatGPT to give you more, to be like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? If you have struggles in your relationship, you can be like, according to my chart, how should I approach that? So like use these tools. They're real tools that exist and can help with this. But if you're familiar with a natal chart, I want to just do one just so someone can, okay, I love this. We have a few, who was the first to drop it in? Althea. Okay, let's do one more. Just and I wanna double check it. So we're gonna do where is it? Where did it go? Here, chart, leave the chart out so I can see it. So I don't think that was necessary. 30. So what's the 10th October? Oh, it's your birthday soon. And then 10
Oh,
actual.
PJ, sorry, it's the 30th of the 10th.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's okay. No, no.
Thank you. And the 26th. I don't know why
And
I'm writing
also
capitals.
9:30 p.m.
Thank you.
That's
I
okay.
with Danielle, the one on the. Can you, when you guys see my screen, can you see the chat on the screen? Oh, shit, do I have to redo it now? Oh, sorry. I hope you guys are either doing it as well or just being very patient. So, 30th October, it is the end of the day. I did have a big day. I started at 5. I started at 4:30. I decided to go to calisthenics in the morning because I have this call with you guys at night and I didn't want to take it from my van again. And so I'm looking forward to bed. 9:30. So 9:30 p.m. Okay, I gotcha. 9:30. Awesome. And then did you know there was an Adelaide in all of these places?
Yeah, I've actually done this cafe astrology natal chart before. So when they came up, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So yeah.
So I'm gonna copy and paste it just because it's gonna probably help me to summarize it faster. So you've done this before, so you're gonna be able to say if it's correct, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of it's even come true, which is really freaky, but yeah. I've never done it in ChatGPT though, so this will be interesting to see what it says.
Mm. Mm. Let's see. Creates with intensity of passion. Art is a way to channel transformation and deep emotion. Strong magnetic style that draws attention. Doesn't know anything about your art, but who here has seen her art and can agree that this is on top? Deep intuitive artist, career tied to sensitivity, compassion, and imagination. Her public image benefits from being seen as soulful and visionary. Come on, this is like
Wow.
so your art. Like it's like my ChatGPT doesn't know anything about her.
That's
Mars
pretty
in Gemini,
crazy.
energetic, bold, self-expression, thrives on variety and experimentation, needs to avoid scattering energy by focusing on clear project. Would you say this resonates?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then Jupiter in Leo, expansive communicator, tries when teaching, sharing, or presenting her art, good fortune, invisibility, and inspiring others. Aren't you like a surf instructor and all sorts of stuff like that?
Yeah, and
Spot
also
on,
yoga
nice.
teacher. Yep.
There you go. Pluto in Scorpio means transforms through daily work. Her career evolves through intense dedication, even crisis. Power lies in persistence. And there
Yeah.
isn't. And Taurus rising, that's interesting. Projects reliability, steadiness, and sensuality. Natural ability to make art that feels grounding yet luxurious. Audience and clients trust her stability. And North Node in Aquarius, growth comes from collaboration, innovation, and embracing unconventional paths. I think we all know this is true. Success tied to collective project and share resources. And just spend like time in Melbourne collaborating with a friend on 2 murals. Yeah, so you
Absolutely.
see, guys, like these are like wacky, but they are spot on. Like save yourself some time and get clear on everything about you because it's a cheat code. And whoever is in denial that this is true is really doing themselves a disfavor. However, what is that you typed in ChatGPT? Honestly, in this one, I just wrote before pasting everything, I just wrote, can you summarize a list for my student as well? And can you make it relevant to her mural artist career? That's what I wrote. I'm gonna find it, maybe. Sorry, the natal charts are really long. Yeah, here's a short career relevant snapshot of her chat written in bullet points with a mural artist lens. So I think this was just a cool exercise for the purpose of this, but if you do it, what I would ask ChatGPT is to summarize it, but yet make it extensive enough to cover every aspect of your life, and then honestly play with it. That's why I'm saying, like, if you want to take it to the next level, like do a self-care day and just literally like treat yourself to some nice food, to your favorite teas, maybe like do like a spa day, because you're gonna have to process a lot. And what I encourage you strongly to focus on is the things to look out for. Now, this can go pretty in depth and precise about your future as well. So it's not going to tell you exactly like you're going to meet the love of your life on the 7th of July in 2028, but it's going to tell you a little bit your purpose in life and some milestones through decades. The next thing that I want to recommend, I think is even better at it. So the one that I'm now focusing on studying, and it's taking me actual time, is the human design chart. Who here has heard of the human design chart before? So combines astrology, I Ching, Kabbalah, and chakras. Helps you understand your energy type and how you're meant to use your energy in work and creativity. This just opened a whole new level of reality for me. But what I want to split testing it with is with Tina. And because, do you know, Tina, your time of birth? Did you? Yeah, nice, perfect. Because I want to know if we have the same environment, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But human design, let's see what they, my human design, that sounds pretty, okay. I'm gonna send it to myself now, but where is your, paste it in here so it's gonna be faster. So month, April 04, day 08, year 1985, and 19, oh, hold on. It's asking I am a
So
PM.
19 is 7 p.m.
That's one.
Yeah.
There, application. If I write this, I wonder if it's gonna pop up. Yep, cool. I think the name is relatively not relevant. Do I need to sign up? Okay, maybe choose one that doesn't make you sign up. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Yes, so you are also a manifesting generator. I also have the authority in the sacral. So interesting. It tells you even like your digestion. Like this is my favorite, but this seems like they even explain you stuff. So, okay, I'm gonna download this chart and upload it in ChatGPT and see if I can explain it better. This is my student, Tina, human design chart. Can you summarize it briefly so we can check with her if it resonates? And tell me her environment if you can. I'm on ChatGPT 5, by the way. These days you can choose if you want automatic, so it decides how long it wants to think. You can have a quick answer or you can have like a long answer. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they are very different. So I try to usually give him the longer, and it usually now decides that it wants the longer. Okay, let's see. So manifesting generator, that's what I am too. It means that you are you generate your own energy. You don't need to like absorb it from other people. You get inspired by things and it ignites the generation of your energy. This is very important to be aware of, because like my friend Sarah, she is like she mirrors. So she needs to have manifesting generators next to her to kind of take the energy and mirror it out, or like absorb it, processes, and out it. How important is to know this about yourself? Because you would know if when you go and hang with people, if you take or you give, or if you have your own fire, because it's not up to you. Like, you don't decide these things, like your body decides it. So Tina is like me with that, but best flow, respond on what's already in front of her. So inquires what location collabs, then move quickly. Strategy, responding. So you don't force, you wait for a clear external cue. Message, invite, location, request before initiating. Is that resonates? Yeah? Okay. Authority sacral. So that's when you go in the chakras. I have that too. I decide with my gut. Whenever I said yes to all of you to be in the program, that was my gut saying, you got this or you don't. And if my gut was like, I said no to 60 plus people, because my gut said no. Not my head, not my heart, not my breathing. It was my gut. So this is because my and you can see that in the image actually. So what the image shows, the colored ones, so these are all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know if they actually match the chakras, but they are the what they call authorities in your body. And the ones that are colored are the ones that you personally use the most. And they are different for every person. Some people are more logical, some people are more like in the throat, in the speaking the truth. We are more in our gut, for so the sacral. And you see how here you have 3. The reason this is the majority one is because see how 3 of them are purple, so that means that the majority of the things are happening there. Now, I'm not an expert in the stuff yet, that's why I'm ChatGPTing the shit out of it, but my friend is trying really hard to make me understand these things very well, so I'm getting better at it. But as I said, I'm sharing these things with you because I discovered it recently and it's blowing my mind. So if you're into this stuff and you into self-discovery, I highly encourage you to start this journey, and this is how you do it. What else we got here? So not self-esteem, frustration. Would you say the frustration is your biggest like issue in life? Some people could be anger or whatever, but what frustration does is like your not self-esteem, so signals when something is wrong. So it might be frustration about wrong project or timing. And I don't like how it's explaining this. I would probably like read this and be like, can you explain it as if it's like a 4-year-old or something like that? But this is how it's officially read. So I want you to get familiar with the wording. Definition, so single self-contained energy. Once engaged, she can move work from start to finish. Is making it very about Munos, but I would say even when I see this definition single, she's okay doing things on her own. She fucking bikes from one side to the other of Europe on a bike. Like, this is totally like ticking that box, right? Like, she's okay being alone. She is not like a person that needs to be with other people, with a big group. Strongest sense, outer vision. She is a visionary. Once again, she does crazy shit like I do, like with the extreme missions, you know. They're not for everyone, but you can get confirmation if you have like a big pull to do something crazy like I do with the 100 Mirror Project, or like Tina does with her adventures. If you take this chart and your results match this, you can literally like, whenever you feel inspired to do something like another person, you should ask them, what is your human design? Because if your human design matches, the chances that you're going to be fucking good at that things are confirmed. Like, confirmed. Does it make sense? Whereas if your charts and all these tests are saying the opposite, that you might just have validation that it is actually not for you. But it's like a cheat code in life to know what exactly drives you and what is realistic for you or is going to come easier. Digestion, consecutive appetite, one thing at a time, meals, task, batch, sketch, color, client, notes, revision, not ping-ponging. For me is they actually don't have structure with eating and no structure with the size of meals. And it's so true. I don't care when I eat. I eat when I'm hungry, and I eat as much as I need when I feel that I'm hungry. And I spend the longest time feeling guilty because everyone online or everyone doctors are like, no, you have to have a big breakfast, and then the last meal of the day should be tiny, and you should eat regularly and on the same time of the day like a dog. No, this chart can actually tell you what your digestion should be like, and there are other ways to find out because we are all so different and so unique. So I was surprised that this will also tell you the digestion, but I'm very happy it did. And your environment actually says it's kitchen. So thrives in buzzy hubs where things are being made, like share studios, lively workshop. Oh, it says the same. It's just yours is called kitchen, mine is called market, but I think it actually means the same thing. So the reason I wanted to try it with Tina is because who here has seen the she's taken the working from cafe challenge really eagerly and she's loving it. I love it too. That's why I impose it on you. But turns out that is not for every typology of person. However, if you are a kitchen or a marketplace, in your human design, you're probably loving this because it just essentially explains that we like being amongst people, but not with people. But we like being in our bubble around people. So working from cafes, working from pubs, going to markets where you can like be in your own world, but absorb, observe, and feed off other people's energy. It's our happy creative space. Like that's where we thrive. So isn't this fucking validating to just be like, oh, that's why I like that thing. And yeah, there is more here, but I want you guys to, yeah, the quick checklist is like big yes, no gut to everything in life, momentum spikes when you get offered something, and works best in lively collaborative spaces, satisfaction after days with visible progress and clean finished steps. And I know that you like working, like you like when there's a stage where it's like, oh, it's starting to feel good, it's starting to look good, and you tidy. And it says also that your portfolio shines with visuals are immaculate and simple to grasp. So yeah, this is just like one obvious example of this. Thank you, Tina, for being volunteered. Sorry, I didn't ask you for permission. But human design is really blowing my mind. And this was a pretty simple, short read, but you can really get like a long one. And I personally got given an app, and I want to show it to you. So it's just called Human Design App, and the logo is, don't know if you guys can see it, but is this one, this blue here. So if you literally go into your app store and put Human Design, is the one that has the human design like image, like this one that I just show you of the map, and a blue cloudy background. This is the one that Sarah uses. It goes really in depth with the different categories, and it's quite easy to read in the way it explains things. She uses it to quickly look up, literally every time she meets someone, the first like thing, and I realized Binks does the same. Like I didn't know how many people rely on these things. I'm now very aware. Even like when I meet like a new guy now, I'm like, do you know your time of birth? I'm not even gonna waste any time unless I do all of your charts. And then you can check compatibility. So if you have a partner, you can literally like have they chart your chart and just say you know what to look out in the relationship. It's not going to tell you this is meant to be or you should break up with them, but you can use it as a like, can you tell us what communication problems we might have and how to work better or stuff like that. So it's very helpful for that too. But you can literally then interact with your ChatGPT and be like, okay, according to my human design, every time you have problems, now I go like, okay, according to my human design, how should I navigate this? and it will give you a better answer because it's going to be like really about these traits, these things. The other, scary thing with, not scary, but like if you really want to geek down, like what I asked to my ChatGPT is like, what should I look out for in the coming months according to my chart and human design? Make a short list. And I think I stopped sharing my screen, so I'm gonna. Okay, look, I trust you guys. I'm just gonna put it out there, and we're all gonna see if it's gonna happen, right? So, experiment. What it's saying? Partnership spotlight. So expect themes around collaboration, contracts, and being mirrored by others. Stay clear of your needs versus just keeping harmony. Career shift, continued transformation on your public role, opportunities to step into bigger visibility. They'll demand depth and authenticity. Saturn in Pisces, steady lessons in money flow and self-worth. Keep systems tight, but don't slip into scarcity thinking. And then from my human design, energy use, follow your sacral yes, no to avoid frustration. If it's not a full body yes, let it go. I'm actually going through a lot of this. Timing, wait for clear invitation, then move fast. October, November feels like acceleration window. I've been stagnant as fuck in work. I think you guys know I have so many projects pending. Everything has been delayed for the longest amount of time. My new mural number 100 is not getting approved, and I'm just trusting the universe because guess what? I've been told through these that it's going to be like that. So now it's saying that things should pick up October, November. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Environment, thrive, where exchange, happiness, markets, networking, blah, blah, satisfaction, check. But you can literally like have, okay. And can you tell from my chart my next stages in life? Like literally I've done this better and it gave me some proper, like breakdowns, and they were spot on. Like even like if you ask them to give you a retrospective of your life, that's even better. If you ask them, can you tell me the different shifts according to my natal birth chart? Can you tell me all the shifts that happened since I was born until now? And you can cross check. And to me, we're really like going through like there were major shifts here. You did some major moves. It always coincided with my big moves inter countries, and even like there was something else that like freaked me out because it was, I think even my change of career when I left corporate was in there, but I don't remember the prompts that I used. I will find them so you guys can use them too. But these are this still explains them. See, it knows me very well, so it's really going down specific because I already ran all of these through it. But you guys are gonna have so much fun. Hopefully getting to know each other. Who thinks this is helpful? Yeah, okay. Who thinks this is just woo-woo crap and you just wasted an hour of your life? Okay, it's okay if you think that too. What I think is quite interesting is that when you hang like with millionaires or like, as I told you, after even like in my mentorship program, my mentor, like Morgan Nelson, who is the most logical, science-based person, he's so into this shit. He just doesn't appreciate people that make it sound like it's witchcraft. Because he's like, this is being science. Like science back in the days, in the pyramid days, like people were looking at the stars. Like it was a thing that they were studying. Like it was a respected science. And then now for some reason it's down to tarot cards and stupid people online. But and it kind of like he believes that people like part of society made it that way, so people wouldn't rely on it, so they were easier to manipulate in short. Because if you deprive humans of ways of getting to know themselves and therefore the power, this is all connected then to power of manifestation and all of that. It's a major superpower in life. And we as humans got severely desensitized from being able to do a lot of things that start with a lot of self-awareness. So all of these practices that used to be very, very common, in ancient societies are now deemed woo-woo in our modern society. However, there is this awakening through ChatGPT, and probably now that your phone has listened to me talking about these things, you're gonna get more algorithm stuff through your Instagram and TikTok if you're using them, and get a bit more exposed to this. But I still think self-awareness and getting to know yourself is a massive life hack, and it's gonna really make your nervous system calmer because you're going to have validation on the good, the bad, and just feel a little bit more in control of certain aspects. But it's also going to give you a cheat code to navigate life situation, work situation, and partnership situations. So hopefully, yeah, dive into it. I would want to know if you feel like sharing, please message me your results or the biggest breakthrough. I will attach the replay of this with the links and also some ChatGPT prompts for you to play with. Gonna spend some time thinking about some good ones, and I'm gonna try to find the ones that got referred to me, and I'm also gonna ask Sarah to give me her best ones. So you're gonna have a fair few. Maybe I'm gonna touch like a document. And yeah, anyone here has any questions, or even if you want to ask something not about this, now is the time. Yeah, Glenn.
With your ChatGPT, like you said, you're on ChatGPT 5. Like when I go into the plan to upgrade my plan, it either gives you like a plus, ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Pro. Like, is that sort of where you're at? Like, there's two different
I'm on the
tiers,
plus.
sort of. Oh, plus. That's what
I'm
I
on the
thought. That's
plus,
all.
not on the pro. I don't know how much the
Pro.
pro is. I haven't really needed it, but it still allows me to use the ChatGPT 5, is just not like permanently set on it.
Yeah, because I think ChatGPT Pro is like $200 US, like, and
A
whereas
year or a
Plus
month?
is, I don't know, it's probably a year or something. I didn't check the
Hmm.
thing, but yeah, Plus seems more like Pro seems a bit more than you actually need, whereas Plus is probably right in the pocket, I reckon. When I looked at that, yeah.
So it's saying that if I wanted pro was, yeah, no, you're right. It's 200 a month, whereas I'm paying
Oh, a
plus
month.
20 a month. Jesus, that's
Yeah,
like a 10x. What does it do? Does it cook for me?
it virtually probably would want to for that. Yeah.
So it says unlimited messages and uploads, unlimited and fast image creation, maximum memory and context, maximum deep search and agent mode, expanded projects, task and custom ChatGPT, expanded Sora video generation, expanded codex agent, research preview for new features. I don't know. I don't
It's
think
probably
it's necessary, but
more than you need. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably more worth it for like work, or if you're using it for like a lot of these extra extension.
Hmm. Yeah, like people in IT as well, they'd just be all over it, wouldn't they? Something like that.
Yeah, because you can
Yeah.
create like websites and stuff and coding. So I think app creation, people, you guys got like have no idea what's happening. Like they're teenagers becoming like millionaires overnight because they're like grasping this. So now it's their time. Like, and I feel stupid. Like I feel so stupid not riding this wave, but it's like my brain cannot grasp what's happening, or I just feel like I don't have enough drive to dive into it because it's extremely overwhelming. And probably we all feel like that. But it's in the next 5 years, the world is not going to be the same. And this is the beginning of it. And there's still going to be time over the next 5 years. Like we will have to really, really get good at this. But the changes that we're going to see are going to force us into having to. Right now, we enjoy a couple of years left into the world as it is. Because the AI is just what's really happening adjacent to AI is another thing that's even scarier. I will share an article on a TEDx talk that can explain it better than I can at this time of the day. But essentially, like what now is in computers and in technology is being made so small, like a cell. And so that is very scary, because the quantum power of that that's being harnessed is really going to change everything that we do. And there is this prediction that literally 90% of the jobs that exist in the world are about to be taken. Like we are about to really live in a very, 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 very different way. And it might sound scary and overwhelming, but if you think about it from like a historic point of view, the Industrial Revolution did the same. Like, to the people back then, the change that the Industrial Revolution did was comparably all life-changing. This is going to be even more wacky because of how advanced our technology got. But what was unfair for us is that we lived in a pretty stagnant world where a lot of things from the Industrial Revolution, like the schooling system or the roads, the cars, have looked similar for a very long time. What is about to happen now is going to change very much visually the world around us. So for artists, it's going to be interesting. Also, I don't know how many of you are already into crypto, but apparently, like, I've been really told, like, someone took me and shook me and be like, it is going to be one of the biggest currencies. Like, banks are not doing well. So I don't know if you guys need to hear this, but I feel compelled to share with you because I'm now being like, okay, I need to take this seriously. And if you haven't yet, consider at least looking into it or putting a little bit of money there just so you have it and you know how to do it. I said it, so anyway, it's out there. But you look into it, do your own research. Anagram test on Blossom Up is paid. It shows at the end all of the questions. That's annoying. Try to find another one, maybe even ask ChatGPT which one is a free one. To be fair, I think it suggested me that one, so it's annoying. But yeah, have fun with the test. Any other questions? I think I answered all of the questions in my chat as well. If for some reason I left you out, just bump it up. Okay. And Ananda, are you all good with that school? With that, sorry, the groomer?
I sent another email recently, so I'm gonna wait for them to answer. But I'm happy on the way I structure based on your suggestion. And if it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen. If not, I'm okay with it as well. So
Good.
let's leave it to the universe. Yeah.
We're just talking about a job that might need a refund or not go ahead because it's been a bit difficult and there's been some changes. And navigating your first refund or your first being like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's a milestone in business and you guys are all gonna eventually get there. And there's a friend put $1,000 on crypto when it first came out and now has $180,000, so well worth. Yeah. And look, if I could go back in time, I don't have many regrets in life, but I swear I'm one of those people that if you ask me if you go back to your young self and say one thing to your younger self, like literally my 3 words would be like, yes, buy Bitcoin. Like, and not knowing as a kid what that means, but when Bitcoin would come out, I would know that I told my younger self, because if I did, anyway, my friend literally bought a house and she was one of the first people that like put Bitcoin on, and she's still like, she's pretty much retired because of it. I'm like, fuck you. Like, fires was just fires being for fun. Anyway, but these are like the early on trends, and I didn't take it seriously. Then my dad, which is the most skeptical fucking person when it comes to money, he decides, out of all people, he didn't even tell us because he was worried that we're gonna call him silly. He decided to hire a mentor online because he's obsessed with YouTube. My dad is an avid YouTube consumer. I don't know if any of your parents is too, but his preferred method of consuming information of the elderly generation that is still on their phones. And yeah, he found this guy and started like looking at his videos about crypto, and then he like hired him as a mentor for like a lot of money. Like I think he paid like 10 or 20 grand. But this guy literally gives you all the insight because he's doing it. So just like I do with you report from my mentorship programs, he reports from his unique sources as well as his personal investments. So he has a group of mentees and he's literally saying, I've done this, do this, so you will make this much money. And he's been following all of the things, made so much money that now he's put all of his money in that crypto, which I think is scary as fuck. But for someone like my dad, with what he's a very hard earner and hard saver, and he was always like, buy the house, do the things right, buy the books. So for him to go that path, I was like, wow, I need to jump on this. And he sat us all down like in the family and explained everything and recommended to start like $10,000 or whatever. I got told all of this while I was going through separations. I was like, I don't have any spare money to play like digital games. Well, I don't know how much money I need to put into divorce. But now that I'm trying to rebuild bank, like I don't like the idea of saving. Save the money sitting on a saved account are doing nothing. As soon as you have money, you have to make them work for you. So however that looks for you, you put it in a super investment or put it in just I like safe investing, so long-term investing in the market. And I took a mentorship program to learn how to do that. So Ben and I had investments, they really did well. Like I was shocked by how we like without investing too much, like we made over $20,000 in 1 year just because we had like that initially, and then our mentor gave us the right tips. And I invest JB Hi-Fi made me a shit ton of money because I invested in the right time. Like it was interesting. So Lloyd Ross, my mentor, he has incredible books that I highly recommend reading, but also one book that changed my whole perspective on it is called Girls Who Invest. Is it? It's literally like explaining how they made it sound difficult so women don't understand it, but even guys can read this book. Girls Who Invest. I listened to Girls That Invest. Girls That Invest book. Look, for artists, I'm not gonna lie, listening to books like this and reading them, they can be a little bit boring. So I would recommend one chapter at a time. I was trying to like listen to the whole thing while I was painting a mural, and I remember noticing a couple of times that my brain was just like switching off. For those of you who are coming to Bali or are interested to come into the Bali retreat, I'm literally going to be making a webinar about this, and I'm going to set you up with investment portfolios during the Bali retreat, because I think I wish someone's done that with me. I wish someone has literally pinned me to the fucking table and done it with me so it doesn't overwhelm my brain. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm going to like set it up at $20. So like if you have $20, we're going to be able to do this. And I'm supposed to have a person helping me with this, but this person is just gone through a major loss in their family. So I don't know if I'm going to have the privilege of having them doing this with you, but if not, I can do it with you because I've done it for myself and I've done it for others. But it's just going to be to get you started, and it's going to be up to you to understand more, but I'm going to give you the juice of the information. And just so the base is there, it's like setting up your business account. Like it's the same thing. Like once it's set up, you can decide what money you keep on it, but at least you know it's there. And then you can start researching into like what you want to be doing. But there are certain things that are known to be safe. They are known to be the thing to do long term. And this is like kind of what I want you to be aware of. I am not yet capable of setting you up with crypto or anything like that, but I think the process is the same. Once you have buckets to put your money in, then when your invoice from your murals come in, you can decide if you want to put a little bit in these buckets. And honestly, like the one thing that I take away from every money webinar, every money lesson that comes through either my big mentorship programs or the dedicated to money mentorship programs, if I was to boil all that knowledge down to like one concept, is every time you receive money, give them a job, because money is energy and it needs to keep flowing. So give them a job. If you were at the retreat, Sarah explained that very well as well, and she told you to literally have buckets like fun, bills, if you have specific goals, buy a new car. And every time money comes in, direct them into all these buckets, so they all going for a specific job, and that energy that money carries is not getting stagnant, and it's not like blocking you in any way, shape, or form. And at the same time, you'll be surprised how quickly money grows if you actually keep it in specific spaces. Is if it all goes in your account and you're using it for everything, you don't appreciate the accumulation of it. But if you were to have buckets, and even just like a fun bucket that you put only $5 every week, but like at the end of a couple of months, you're gonna be like, holy shit, there's a couple $100 in there. Like, what can you do for fun for a couple $100? But like, if you don't ever put it like that, like your brain doesn't acknowledge that that is being set aside, or that is you don't give yourself permission to do anything. I want to lastly share, speaking of money, if you guys really want to, I think this is quite important. This made me cry, and I saw it right after the retreat, and I thought it would be too much to send it to you guys right after the retreat, but I don't want everyone else to miss out on it, and I think the people from the retreat are going to have extra appreciation for it. This lady goes through an exercise that's super powerful, and I'm going to share, it's TikTok, but I'm going to share it in the Mural Nomad chat because this is not connected. She writes a letter to money as if money was a person. And guys, like, it was the most I don't even know. Give me the letter script from this video. I wonder if it's gonna work. I'm testing now the power of ChatGPT. No, you can't do it. Anyway, you're gonna have to listen to it. It's beautiful because it really, I think we're all gonna resonate, and it's gonna really hopefully change your perspective about money. There's so much bad stigma about it, and this letter made me cry, like literally. And I don't cry from videos, so I'm not a sook like that. So these days when something makes me cry, I'm like, fuck, I really have some work to do on this. Okay, I think I gave you like a lot. I'm sorry if this was overwhelming, but being a mentor is hard because I feel like I'm constantly growing and expanding in so many different ways, and I feel like I'm literally doing you wrong by not sharing this stuff with you. So I hope you appreciate it. I know this kind of wasn't very on topic, but I would be lying if I was here to tell you that not getting to know yourself is not going to help your business or your murals or your craft. Like, it will. So I hope you're gonna have some breakthroughs. Please share them with me if you do. I will, create the post. We can have some nice chats at the bottom of that post. Let's entertain each other. Nice, glad that was viable. Awesome. And I am a little bit behind with the blogs and stuff. I know that a lot of you are waiting for the one about the residency in the retreat. Honestly, I'm having writer block because, like, whoever has been to either of these events knows how crazy and intense and beautiful they were, and how can you possibly describe that experience in a blog? So I'm like, am I writing too much? Am I writing too little? Am I like valuing everyone? And then even the photos, I have like 4,000 photos of everything, and it's like, how do I pick? Anyway, so it's coming. It will come because it will have to come. But knowledge is power. Thank you. This was very valuable. Thank you, PJ. Okay, awesome. And yeah, there's still spots available for Bali as well. So let me know if you need any payment plans or anything like that. I would rather have people from the program. And if you want to also refer someone, please do, because I'd rather have people that I know than people that I don't know. I'm holding back from advertising it everywhere because I don't want strangers. So yeah, and for you guys, the 20% discount is always valid. So just let me know that you are interested and we can sort you out. Cool. That's it. And I will see you on the Friday call. And then I am wanting to organize a webinar for next week with a guest speaker. So stay tuned. I'm not going to give away all the information, but it's going to be exciting. Okay, awesome. Bye, guys. Have a good night. I'll be work on Friday. That's okay.